That many of you have watched the Toledo Rockets play football, obviously, not just in person.
Of course.
At the Glass Bowl, online, on your phone. Maybe you've rewatched a game on the DVR, or maybe saw the highlights of the game posted on Twitter. But there was a time long ago when you had to tune in and watch the game live, maybe, because if you missed it, then you'd probably need to wait until 11 o'clock that night for Oris Tabner.
Oh, okay.
It's going way back, or myself to give you the final score. But did you know, Tatiana, there was a time, the very first time a Rockets regular season game was broadcast live on television, coast to coast, for the entire nation to watch.
University of Toledo, like
The
nationwide.
Rockets, yes.
I did not know, so tell me.
All right, it was November 5th, 1987. 36 years ago, that's when ESPN came to University of Toledo for the first time in a regular season, not a bowl game, but regular season. Here's a look.
Ooh.
Exposure is everything, and tonight the university will be getting a lot. ESPN, the cable sports network, will pay the university $22,000 to broadcast tonight's game. Football coach Dan Simmerl says it will give his players a chance to shine, and it'll give him a recruiting advantage. ESPN travels the country broadcasting games every Thursday from schools about the same size as UT. In just about a couple of hours, this satellite truck that was driven in from Springfield, Massachusetts last night will be beaming the University of Toledo Eastern Michigan game to millions of people all over the country, and that alone is an accomplishment. But Coach Simmerl says a win would be nice, because when you win on television, everyone remembers. Linda Joyce, Toledo 11 News.
So
Linda Joyce, that's a long time ago, 1987. I came here in 1980.
Oh.
So
well,
I've worked with
quite
many people.
So do you remember, did they win the game?
I really don't, but I don't think that dampened them. They lost.
Oh.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock that night, WTOL's Steve Hartman. Steve Hartman, yeah,
Ooh.
CBS's Steve Hartman gave us a look at all the fun the kids had that night in Toledo.
Going to a UT football game now is sort of like going to a Cleveland Indians baseball game in September. The Rockets are all but mathematically eliminated from the California Bowl, but still the fans were fanatic. I mean, they couldn't be rooting for Eastern Michigan, could they?
No, Toledo!
I didn't think so. No, the big draw tonight is not the teams on the field, rather the cameras on the sidelines. ESPN broadcast this game live, coast to coast, Toledo's first national TV appearance. And you know how people love to be on TV.
We want to be on TV!
And of course, the best way to get on TV is with a banner. UT students drew up about 30 of them, some a little more thought out than others.
How much time did you put into that?
This was given to me.
We want to put a banner on the air that people put a little bit of effort into. Just a hi mom send money is not going to do it in this day of banners, to be very truthful.
But Esikoff says if you really want to get on TV, it's best to have somebody, quote, interesting holding it up, which I guess explains why you see so many cheerleaders on TV. Steve Hartman, Toledo 11 News.
All right, now, Dan, it says here that the University of Toledo Rockets lost the game on November 5th, 1987, 38-9 against the Eastern Michigan Hurons.
And before anyone starts calling the station, Eastern Michigan's football team was known then as the Hurons back in '87. They didn't become the Eagles until a few years later.
And then, Dan, of course, right here, it says Eastern Michigan became known as the Eagles in 1990.
The University of Toledo Rockets play Eastern Michigan Eagles at home, actually, this next Wednesday, November 8th. So what's happened is that was the beginning of what became MACtion, where the MAC games are on national television, ESPN, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So every November, the MAC is going to be on primetime TV, which makes really, they get some money for it. The problem is it's so blasted cold in this part of the country that the crowds for these games on Tuesday and Wednesday are like minuscule compared to what you'd get on a Saturday in the afternoon.
Of course. So the game coverage starts 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2 this year. Again, all on your phone.
That's next week, yeah.
So then you got to be ready for it. Now you can find this story because, of course, we like the Hartman story and the
Linda Joyce.
Linda Joyce, excuse me, Linda, I apologize. On WTO11's YouTube page, we made it easy for you there on the WTO11 Vault playlist. Check it out. You can see more Dan stuff.
Steve Hartman doing the great work even back then. Yeah, you can see his potential. Well.